Why does one person's body keep fighting, rebuilding muscle, killing rogue cells, and maintaining energy well into their 80s, while another person collapses under chronic disease at 50? If you look at the statistics, you might blame genetics, you might blame bad luck. But if you look at the biology, the answer is different. For decades, researchers at institutions like the National Institutes of Health and the University of Heidelberg have been looking at a single molecule, a compound so rare in nature, yet so effective, that it triggered a measurable regeneration of stem cells in laboratory settings. The same compound has been shown to literally starve cancer cells by cutting off their blood supply, leaving healthy cells completely unharmed. So, why haven't you heard about it? The honest answer isn't medical, it's financial. You cannot patent a seed. In the early 2000s, when researchers started publishing serious data on this compound, pharmaceutical companies had a simple calculation. If they can't own it, they can't monetize it. Without a $2 billion clinical trial, it never makes it into the standard of care guidelines. But here is the good news. This seed isn't locked in a vault. It isn't a rare Amazonian herb. It sits in your local grocery store. It has been used medicinally for over 3,300 years. It was even found in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Today, we are going to look at the science they stopped talking about. I'm your host, and this is The Truth About Nigella Sativa.
Let's start with regeneration. We used to think we were born with a fixed number of stem cells, and they just ran out over time. That is false. Your body tries to make more, but as you age, the signaling pathways get noisy. Enter Thymoquinone, TQ. This is the active compound inside the black seed. A landmark study published in Phytomedicine analyzed human bone marrow cell cultures. When researchers introduced thymoquinone, they observed a 2.9 to 3.1-fold increase in CD34+ hematopoietic stem cell colonies. Let me translate that. CD34+ cells are the master builders of your blood and immune system. A 300% increase means your bone marrow suddenly has triple the workforce to repair damaged organs, replace old immune cells, and fight inflammation. How does it work? Two specific pathways. Number 1, NREF2 activation. Think of your cells like a house. NREF2 is the smoke detector. Thymoquinone is the smoke. It triggers the detector, which floods the cell with antioxidant enzymes like glutathione. This protects your new stem cells from being oxidized and killed off before they can work. Number 2, the signaling flare. Thymoquinone upregulates a receptor called CXCR4 on the stem cell surface. This makes your stem cells hear the distress signals from your damaged tissues faster. It is like upgrading your emergency services from dial-up to 5G. If you are over 40, this is the difference between an injury healing in 6 weeks versus 6 months.
Now here is where biology gets poetic. The same compound that feeds your healthy stem cells actually starves cancer cells. In 2019, researchers at several international institutions published a critical finding in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences. They discovered that thymoquinone is a potent inhibitor of HIF-1 alpha. HIF-1 alpha is a protein that cancer cells use to survive when there isn't enough oxygen. It tricks your body into building new blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis, to feed the tumor. Thymoquinone blocks this signal. It cuts the communication line. Without new blood vessels, the tumor hits a brick wall. It cannot grow past the size of a pinhead. It goes into starvation mode. But it doesn't stop there. Thymoquinone also targets NF-κB, the master switch for inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the soil where cancer grows. NF-κB tells the cancer cells to ignore the immune system and keep multiplying. Thymoquinone suppresses NF-κB. When you remove the fuel, blood, and remove the shield, NF-κB, the cancer cell does the only thing it can. It self-destructs. Biologically, this is called apoptosis. The cell literally breaks apart into tidy little pieces that your immune system cleans up. And the best part? In study after study, including those cited by the NIH, healthy cells were left completely untouched. Chemotherapy kills everything. Thymoquinone just fixes the zoning laws.
Knowing the science is useless without the application. You need to get this into your system, but the bioavailability is tricky. Here is the evidence-based protocol. Step 1. Form is king. You have two options, whole seeds or oil. If you use whole seeds, you must grind or crush them. If you swallow them whole, they will pass right through you. You need to crack the seed coat to release the thymoquinone. However, the highest concentration is cold-pressed black seed oil. Step 2. The absorption hack. Thymoquinone is lipophilic. It loves fat. But more importantly, it is metabolized quickly by your liver. Take half a teaspoon, 2.5 milliliters, of oil with a pinch of black pepper. Pepper contains piperine. A 2022 study highlighted how piperine inhibits the enzymes that break down thymoquinone. You are essentially blocking the liver from destroying the medicine before it works. Step 3. The golden hour. Take it in the morning, 20 minutes before coffee, mixed with a teaspoon of raw honey. Why? Honey has its own anti-cancer properties, specifically methylglexol. Together, they create a synergistic effect that enhances the antioxidant load. Step 4. The 90-day rule. Do not take this for 2 weeks and say it didn't work. The stem cell data from King Abdulaziz University looked at a 14-day culture, but the clinical benefits in human patients for VEGF reduction and immune modulation took 8 to 12 weeks. Consistency is not optional. I believe in telling you the whole truth. This is a bioactive compound. It is medicine, so treat it with respect. 1. If you are pregnant, do not take this. Thymoquinone has shown uterine contraction properties in animal studies. 2. Blood pressure and blood thinners. This seed lowers blood pressure. If you are on warfarin or aspirin therapy, the antiplatelet effect of this whale could compound your medication and cause bleeding issues. 3. Organ transplant recipients or those with autoimmune conditions should speak to a rheumatologist. Since this modulates the immune system, raising CD4+ cells, you do not want to interfere with immunosuppressive drugs. And crucially, if you are actively on chemotherapy, do not assume it is safe. Talk to your oncologist. Some studies show synergy with drugs like 5-FU, fluorouracil, but we lack massive human trials for all interactions.
We live in a world that wants you to believe your health is determined by a genetic lottery ticket. That is a lie. Your biology is not static. Your stem cells are listening to what you eat. Your immune system is responding to the molecules you introduce. Nigella Sativa is not a miracle. It is biology. It is a specific molecule, Thymoquinone, that fits into specific receptors, NRF2, HIF1 alpha, NFKB, to change the way your DNA expresses itself. The research exists. It is published on the NIH database. It is peer-reviewed. The only thing missing is the patent. So, you have a choice. You can wait 20 years for Big Pharma to figure out a synthetic derivative they can sell you for $10,000 a month. Or you can walk into a health food store tomorrow, buy a bottle of cold-pressed black seed oil for $20, and take control of your own biology. Don't wait for permission to heal. If you found this valuable, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper, check out the next video where I break down the 5 specific foods that amplify thymoquinone absorption by 200%. I'll see you in the next one.